In one in particular ad, he used a clip of you from the Breakfast Club saying, quote, Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. You say that line was taken out of context. I know it was. But it went on to become one of his most effective campaign ads. I'm also featured in one of his campaign ads.
You might have been 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Y'all the reason she lost. She lost.
He texted me and let me know that.
Context.
No. No, it wasn't. But what were you actually saying in the clip? And can you please explain that? And how does it make you feel that the campaign used you like that?
Well, it's never good to be taken out of context, but I was explaining to my listeners how effective I thought the actual ad was. Like, the ad was effective before I was in it. I was just sitting at home watching football, and I saw it, and I was like, whoa. And so I knew the immediate reaction was going to be, people are going to say, hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that. So I was explaining that to my listeners. So, it never feels good to be taken out of context, but what I didn't like the most was that they didn't do anything to combat it. Right. I would have ran the same ad and just said, Donald Trump, what is it? Donald Trump supports, what was it?
He was the one that was supporting tax.
Yes, Donald Trump supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners. I would have ran the same ad because it was legislation under him as well. And you know what else I would have did if I was her campaign? Since Donald Trump used me, I would have used Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. Joe Rogan said he thought Donald Trump was, I think, unhinged was the quote.
Right.
You got to mix it up. You got to get dirty with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to
they got dirty.
A little bit.
They got dirty.
Let me ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized.
I'm right now. This Thanksgiving, I was literally just in the hood, and the dude told me, we were just talking about politics. He was all like, that ad effed him up the most. I'm in this, so a lot of stuff messed me up.
What you mean?
Like, messed him up, like, that's the reason he could not vote for Kamala.
Okay.
The prisoners getting sex changes?
Yeah, he said
was they going to keep...
Was
they gonna keep him in the same prison?
I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Probably not. They're not that sexy anymore.
There was so much going on besides that. I didn't even really that didn't affect me at all. But when he said that, I was like, damn, bro, that really messed with you? He was like, hell yeah.
That was
I was like, hey, yeah, that was
it was because she answered that on the survey.
Yeah, because
so that is she did like she documented that she supported that, so it's not.
It was with a trans,
and then a lot of people were saying that was the most effective ad, and I was like, I don't understand why they said that. And then he literally told me that, and I was like, oh shit.
No, I can see how it's effective to
it is.
Somebody who doesn't really have an opinion, who really isn't really typically seeing this stuff, and they're just like especially like a dude, they sitting here and they're watching that, they like, oh hell no, I ain't with that, man. Yeah,
Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to muddy the waters a little bit, cause confusion.
Cause confusion. They're already doing that.
Going around right now, a lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter, after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, etc., as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him. That's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Come on. What did I say that was real?
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed his mind.
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a sudden?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Franklin without a shell.
He changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over.
And they clap.
And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. Listen, they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He didn't.
What he said.
You're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're mad.
No.
If I can get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions and the impartiality of the Department of Justice. Democrats ran on that. This same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. How we shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does, but then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Facts. Why it is
both of them cooking whoopee.
When Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls. He's wrong. He lied.
Criticized
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more, but you're missing my question. My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe?
Because he's a liar.
We don't have the same kind of thing.
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes, when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
I'm an independent. Yes, but that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
Why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong? So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't. And can
Wow.
I just point this out to you? The president
Facts,
has the
Charlamagne.
power, right?
I didn't say you were ridiculous.
She said you're ridiculous.
I would never. I said that. I just think that's
Think about it. Just think about it this way.
She kissed him.
Just very quickly, can you reframe it in this way and think about it maybe in this way? The president has the ultimate pardon power. Every president has done this, right? And so what people are saying is that Joe Biden is now a liar, as opposed to Joe Biden is someone who now knows that the person that is going to be in the White House is on a revenge tour and his son is on an enemies list. And so he is using his rightful power, his rightful political power.
It's always Trump's fault. It's always freaking Trump's fault.
Is that a lie, or is that perhaps being pragmatic, having a change of opinion, as opposed to the president-elect who has lied almost 40,000 times during his first term?
Well, I can't say what it is because I'm not in
the moral high ground? Like, what's the faux outrage?
Neither one of them have a moral high ground. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. But when you are a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican, you refuse to be objective about the other party. Like it's like we're watching them do something wrong, but we're making excuses for it. We watch Republicans do things wrong and they make excuses for it. Why can't we just all be objective and call it what it is?
Because it's not balanced.
It's not the same.
But wait, there's more.
It's not balanced.
We gotta go. We're coming right back. We'll be right back. So, you remember Obama reached out to people through the internet. Now the new evolution is the podcast.
That's right.
Well, Charlamagne, you were a hot topic for us a few weeks ago after you were on CNN with Anderson Cooper and called out cable news networks for normalizing Trump. Now that Trump has won, you say that you don't think cable news will ever truly cover him honestly again.
Wow.
Well, not even just cable news, no network.
Wow.
Nobody, because they didn't do it before, so why would they do it now?
Wow.
He's the president of the United States of America.
Have you watched The View?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's be honest. Sonny, I saw you have to apologize a couple times last week, so somebody's coming with some notes from downstairs.
Not apologizing. Okay. I'm making a legal note as an attorney of law.
Because you know we have a petty president, our incoming, that is going to be very litigious.
Who is litigious, but that doesn't mean that's not a mistake.
Check ourselves. What does not normalizing him look like? Does that mean, because oftentimes the dilemma for me is to just not put him anywhere? Is that
No.
What is the not normalizing?
I think you should just honestly call it how you see it. Like, for example, right?
And have legal notes.
Yes. Like, when I called Donald Trump a fascist, I wasn't calling him that because of something I heard Democrats say. I was calling him that because of the things that were coming out of his mouth. Right? When he was saying things like, he wants to suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, right? So I'm saying that. But now, when you have elected officials also saying that, but then all of a sudden when he's president, that just goes away.
Disappears.
Like, he was a a threat to democracy, but then as soon as he becomes president-elect, Joe Biden's like, welcome back to the White House. Like,
well, we have differences of opinions about
Yeah. This is actually, y'all are right. It's unsufferable.
Because y'all are extreme.
It actually is.
You know, I like that Charlemagne tried to be impartial here and give a base take. I think he tried to stay base. I think a lot of things he said I agreed with for once, And
maybe about 60.
A broken clock is right twice a day. So I'm gonna give credit where it's due. He said some real stuff. They tried to stick to their guns and fight. I think Anna Farah, that's her name. Shorty been cooking lately. On the end, the one we call the DEI Republican. Alyssa.
No, that's Alyssa.
Yeah, no, she been cooking. She been doing her thing, and I respect her because she's been making great points lately. She's been making great points lately, and her in the striped shirt. She usually is probably one of my more favorite person on the View. I like that she asked the question because they said don't normalize Trump. She said, well then how are you supposed to not normalize Trump? He's literally the president of the United States. What does normalizing the president even mean?
I don't know.
Start calling fascists and stuff.
Well, I'm just confused on why you guys say we shouldn't normalize the two-term president of the United States who no one had a problem with until he ran for president. Now we're saying, we should normalize him. That's just a bullshit rhetoric.
Alyssa,
you guys had him on the show years ago and loved him, hugged him, kissed him, loved him, talked about how great he was. So now we can't normalize him?
That's what he just cooked on.
Why are we bullshitting?
You know what the funniest part was?
Alyssa, Charlamagne, and Stephen A. Now that I really think about it, I really still don't respect them for what they did. Have been. Because it's just like y'all. So out of the blue. Out of the blue, this just clicked for y'all.
No,
it just clicked for y'all after he won the election.
I think Alyssa was always. I think Alyssa saying she was a Republican but voting for Joe Biden and defending Joe Biden's points and saying she's voting for Kamala Harris was my straw with her. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get on here and say she's not saying real shit.
No, she is.
The last 3 times we watched The View, she said some real stuff.
She been spit.
Okay, for that. But it's like now it just clicked for y'all.
Because Charlamagne
they was getting paid.
Charlamagne
he said he got bread.
He flip flops because sometimes he gives credit where credit is due. He says real stuff, and then he'll go back to his old guy. We shouldn't do this. He's a bad guy. But he's the president. I hope you do a good job.
I see the best comment.
How are you gonna say this person is bad? This person is evil. This person is bad.
But Kamala gave him bread, though.
And they come out that same mouth and say, I hope you do a good job. So you just said this person is evil, threat to democracy. They're gonna destroy our country. And you're gonna say he hopes he does a good job. So he's all those things. You hope he does a good job at destroying our democracy.
Democrats are delusional. I seen the best comment. They said Stephen A. says all these Republican talking points, and they said, no, I'm still gonna vote Democrat though, because he's delusional.
Yeah, he was talking about how they don't report. He said Republicans say things, they make excuses for the things they do, and they lie or whatnot, and the Democrats do too. And they said we don't hear on The View. I said, oh my God.
They said you don't watch The View.
Y'all have a legal
note. Crazy, bro.
Because y'all lie.
I ain't gonna lie. CNN at times will keep it real. I don't know about MSNBC, but The View.
They're on the level.
The View
is
the farthest left extreme as it gets.
Yeah.
You could not be like,
if y'all had to choose.
Could you tell me a further left show than The View?
If you had to choose between MSNBC and The View, who has to go?
The View.
The View.
The View gotta go.
Hold on. I
mean, it's kind of calm.
The View and Joy Reid offer.
That's the same.
I'm rocking with that right there.
That's the same.
Hey, but we got to pick one MSNBC. So then you pick MSNBC. They got it. I might pick MSNBC.
I leave MSNBC.
is a way bigger network.
They straight,
but they got Joy Reid.
If they didn't have Joy Reid,
just fire her.
That was it. Joy Reid is the only thing that's only.
They got fired a couple people and they good, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. And now I think about it. Yeah, the comments was right though, guys. Because I mean, these people they just didn't just wake up. I mean, like
they got paid. Y'all gotta remember.
But Stephen A. I don't know if he got paid. The fact that
Stephen A. probably got paid, bro.
But it's not on record. We don't know. We don't know that for a fact. But the fact that they say these Republican talking points, I'm not gonna say these are all Republican talking points, and then y'all still say y'all vote Democrat. It's just delusional. So y'all are just still Democrat.
Bro, I'm telling you,
delusional Democrats.
It's who they work for. It's like we said the other day, bro. If you work for ESPN, you're not gonna get on there and say you vote for Trump. Show me one person on ESPN who openly voted for Trump. Show me one.
Pat McAfee.
It's a lot of delusional Democrats, guys.
He'll alleged.
He alleged all.
And to me, Alyssa's in that boat. Alyssa's in that delusional Democrat boat.
Remember when the other, what's the linebacker that's on there, AJ Hawk? He was like, JJ, who you voting for?
Yeah. They didn't say nothing. I started laughing.
They started busting.
We know what that means.
I think you're losing me. Exactly. So you can't even say.
Yeah, they know.
Not only can you not even like.
I'm telling you,
there are full blown politicians for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris on ESPN and all these channels, But if you even on the same channel, if you even mention Donald Trump one time,
I think it's a financial decision. Like people can openly be Democrat, but they're not openly Republican. There's too much backlash that comes with it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
for that reason, and also Stephen A. Smith is with Nike. You think he's gonna say he's voting for Trump?
Another one.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Nike has the Be True collection.
Actually, I found Casanat reacting to Trump.
Bro, that's why Trump. That's why he wouldn't.
He was when Trump won. He was on stream, and I ain't gonna say he didn't endorse it, but like he was watching it. He was definitely. I was like, hold on, this is crazy that he's watching it. You know, it's a lot of delusional Democrats out there that say Republican talking points. I don't get that, but it's because they're delusional Democrats. That was the perfect way to say it.
They like Trump. They said socially they Democrat, but financially they're Republican.
That's stupid to me, bro. But I guess I mean
Trump said it. Trump said it himself.
Bro, they're believing the media.
I think the best thing that was said, if you're diehard either way, you have a hard time keeping your party accountable and you just despise the other side. I think that was a phenomenal point.
That's true.
That's the best thing that was said this whole episode.